It's almost like my stream was already going. Was it? No, couldn't have been, right? I stopped it. That would have been freaky, but no, I'm sure that's not what was going on. Pretty sure I didn't do that. I don't know. Oh, I was so tired yesterday when I went to bed. Stayed up way too late. So, still working on Santa and Krampus. They are a ways to go, and I am not there yet. All right, let's do this. Let's get some paint on Krampus. I started going with a red for his. I want to make it kind of a dingy red, or a dirty red, blackish, brownish red, whatever. I'm gonna do some highlighting with it, but additionally, I am going to smoke. Apply some smoky color to his. I was thinking holy white to add a little bit of. It's going to be gray. I want his where the hands are sticking out to be. I think I may have already put this on at one point. In fact, what I think I might actually have to do is go with dry brushing. I'm going to be putting. I'm going to be putting white on. Because I think I have to go dry brushing because I don't think gray worked. It soaks in and it ends up making the whole thing the same, and I don't want that. I want it just to be on top. I want to brush on there. So we'll have to do it this way. So I'm gonna. Where is my dry brush? Dry brush. Here it is. It's one of my smaller dry brushes. Get the soap out of it. I always let it dry with the soap. It helps the brush to hold its form and after you put it away. But there is a point when you have to get that stuff off. So. Now I'm just using an ink here. Probably should be something a little bit more. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so I think I got my camera a little too far away. All right. So we'll just using my bristles. I'm not too worried about getting it on the hands because the hands aren't painted yet. So my goal here is to just make this border of his just kind of have a grayer look. You know, one that's kind of showing if it comes out, starts getting a little bit more white, that's probably okay. I just don't want it to go all the way in. You know, get lots of, because it's supposed to be like a really dirty, pale Santa Claus trim on this robe. So if it actually starts looking a little white, I'm probably okay with that. Just got to make sure I don't go all the way in try not to get it too much onto the robe itself, so I'm not repainting too much. Now, I don't use the dry brush technique very often. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's like, if it's a big enough surface, maybe, but in general, I don't really care for dry brush techniques. It can really wash out your paints. It doesn't do much for your brush, even though this is actually a dry brushing brush, but so as you can see now, it's starting to look kind of like almost white, smoky trim. And then once I have the hands coming off of it, I'll probably actually make this go a little bit whiter, even more dry of a dry brush, if there's such a thing, one a little bit less wet. And then I will I have to go on the red, which is going to become more dingy, and then I have to start painting these hands. The idea is that the Santa-ishness of Krampus's robe is actually evil smoke. it's made up of children. His robe is bad news for children. But yeah, that's definitely closer to what I want. You can see it's got that kind of nasty. It's not quite white enough for me. It's still gray, but I want it to be a little bit more white. You know, reasonably so. This is going to be an extra light touch, though. This one here, I don't really want to get. I just want it to be more on there, but not quite as thorough. Allowing more of that gray to show, but yeah. Gonna have to hit this outside edge a little bit. There we go. That looks like dirty white. The dirty white I'm going for. There we go. There we go. That's good. All right. So the Santa trim, the Santa-esque coloring and trim are pretty good. I will have to, like I said, dingy up his robe a little. It's a little too red. I will do more red on it to get a nice coat, but then I'm going to go over it with other colors. So, and then I got to figure out how I'm going to do his decorations that are on that robe. He's got a lot of details, this guy. And of course, being a bad guy, his details are all kind of meant to be bad, right? They're bad symbols, dirty, grungy, evil-ish things. That's how I say. That's what I say. He's a total polar opposite of the things you probably find on Santa Claus. Okay, so now I do have to figure out what I'm going to do with this top robe. Again, it's a totally different material looking thing. But I don't want to have too many colors. So I'll probably just go with like a brown. Something that's, you know, kind of along the same. You know, I've got Santa on my thing, but I'm actually doing Krampus. Let's do Krampus. That's right. I'll do Santa when I get back to Santa. Alright. Now another thing I have to figure out. So the whole point of this was to look like it was snow and it's melting away from the base. So that's why I have it all white on the outside. I could have had this come in a little bit more, and I might. I don't know. The goal is to have it look like it was kind of melting snow that was melting away from him. But it almost just looks like exactly what it is. Stuff I put up right against the base. And I don't know if that's because of the way I think it's because it's not high enough. So if snow was melting, like it should come in high. I don't know. I'm a little torn on that. I do have... what did I do? Okay, so let's go bone. Where's my bone color here? I have a pretty nice bone color. That's not it though. I think it's actually not even it's not a contrast paint. It's just I think this is the one I want. This is skeleton bone. I think that's actually the one I want. It's probably so far, if it's the one, if it's the correct one, I do have. Well, if it's the right one. I think it is this one. I'm going to use it. I think it's probably the best. This is a War Paint Air, and it does actually look really good for a skeleton head or skull kind of color. I'll have to put that one aside so I can mark down that I actually used it. We'll bring my brush here. Oops, what did I do? Did I let that rest on my bottle? Strange. That was weird. That was weird. I hope I didn't wreck my brush. I don't have enough brushes to be wrecking them. Guess we'll see. Alright. Where is... I'm going to take Santa's magnet. Oops. His magnet is stuck to him. Just because it's easier to hold this. Can't tell. I mean, it's like has he got a tree growing out of his head? What the heck is that? It's got this skeleton thing here. Really weird, but why is there a tree growing out of it? Has it been on the ground that long? There's a... This is very weird. This weird thing sticking out of whatever this skull thing is. I mean, I look at it like it's like some sort of weird being because there's these teeth on the bottom. Or is it? Oh, there's like a hand. I don't know what the heck this is. I don't know what this is. It's just some weird shape, man. I'm going with the skull type thing, but now I'm seeing what looks kind of like a hand coming. I don't know what this is. It is just a creepy bone thing-ish. I don't know. Some kind of weird animal head? I don't know. Yeah, I don't have any idea what this is. It looks like there's some kind of a hand or claw on the end. It's got two hands or claws. Oh god, I so don't know what this is. See, it's got like a hand there too. I don't know what that is, man. I don't know, it's such a weird thing. Some deformed creature thing. Is it teeth? Maybe it's teeth coming out of there. It's like a jaw. Yeah, that's what this is. Like, it's a mouth tip. Those aren't fingers, they're teeth. It's just weird. Alright, well, there's this skull thing. Roughly painted. I don't know what that is. It is a weirdish skull creature thing that is in the ground. I don't know. It also has, on top of it for extra flavor, a tree thing growing out of it somehow, some way. So yeah, this is a mystery monster thing. Last Christmas I gave you my heart. The very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. So, did anybody see that show? The Christmas came out with, what is her name? Dang it, why can't I remember her name? I knew it. Daenerys, You know, Mother of Dragons. She does that movie. That's called Last Christmas. She's done a lot of movies or a lot of shows, but that's one of them. She was also in the new Han Solo movie. Han Solo Origins or movie? I don't know what it was called. It was just called Solo, wasn't it? I think so. Okay, well, whatever that weird creature majig is. And then he's got, it must be like a horse. I'm thinking it must be some kind of a horse here because like this is a horse's leg, but this leg, is it a bone of a horse's leg or is that, yeah, like maybe it was a horse and that's the head and then this is the leg and it like died or is dying in the, maybe that is just a bone of a leg. Maybe I'll paint it the same color. We'll see. Because I thought maybe it was just a leg of a horse, but it might actually just be a bone. No. Now, is the hoof of a leg is it just bone too? I guess it makes sense, right? Because a horse's leg probably doesn't have a lot of meat on it. They're pretty small. I mean, the upper part might be pretty muscular, but the lower part is probably just mostly. I mean, like even a human calf, lower part of a human's legs, right? It's pretty bony. I mean, they have a little bit of muscle on the back, but other than that, there's just skin and then bone. It's got a horseshoe on it. It's actually got a horseshoe on this bone, or on this foot. Yeah, there we go. It is kind of given a. I'm painting it like it's just a bone, not a whole leg. Just the color made it imply, because I painted it with brown, obviously. Defaulted it all to the same brown color. It had implied that it was a whole leg, but I guess it didn't have to be. Now, of course, I don't know. So whatever this poor horse died of, it just kind of fell over and died. And I guess it's getting buried somehow by the ground. And then, so as you can see, this is now what, Thursday? No, it's Wednesday. And I am I'm a long way from done. I get it? Alright, got it. I had to get there was a little stent on there and it was bugging me. You know, the little pieces left over from the printer. Now, I've always thought that the hoof of a horse was not bone. Because I would think if it was bone, having horseshoes applied would be excruciatingly painful. I always thought it was like a cartilage or something that didn't really have any nerve endings in it. Because how can you put horseshoes on an animal that... I mean, you know, they always show them putting the horseshoes on. And they hammer them on. The horse barely even flinches. It's like, yeah, you know, whatever. It must not hurt the horse that much to have horseshoes put on. Plus, I think that the sculptors who do these things, they don't really consider. I mean, all the implications of what they're doing. I say that because look, there's no lines for this horseshoe on the top. It just looks like the hoof. Back here, there's a horseshoe line. So I don't know. Maybe there's something I don't know about the way a horse's hoof is formed, but it looks like it's a horseshoe. And I would have to. I was thinking I'd paint it silver. You know, like it's still got the horseshoe on it. But I don't know. Maybe it's just a hoof. So anyway, that color, like I said, that is actually a pretty good skeleton. Like dead skeleton, not, you know, not... It's got that good skeleton color. It's decently shaded. It's got I've had trouble finding a good color that I like, but that one does pretty good. It definitely implies skeleton bone to me. I should probably look up what a horse's skeleton bones of a horse's leg. I don't know, something like that. Now I don't see any more of this horse anywhere here. We do see a few rocks that can kind of be painted. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to decide, like, is this big thing here a rock? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I mean, it does have a rock-esque. He's pretty big, but that horse is kind of small, huh? I mean, I guess he is bigger than your typical human. So, yeah, because like a human figure is like this guy. You know, so he's big. And yeah, I can see this guy would ride that horse. That seems like about the right size match for that horse. And this guy is about how big. So yeah, he's a big boy. I do still I gotta get this glued on so I can start getting that part done. But for now, let's move him aside and continue to work here. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what... Should I paint this like a rock? A big rock? Why in my head are rocks always gray? I mean, I even have a little thing of them that gray. They're tan, tan rock. But I have a hard time visualizing a tan rock. Why would a tan rock be anywhere? Where do you find giant tan rocks? I mean, you can find them everywhere because I've been to the Garden of the Gods in Colorado and all the rocks there are tan or red or whatever. But it's like my brain keeps saying, no, rocks are gray. And if you go with the tan rocks, the dirt in the surrounding areas are usually kind of tan and brown as well. So that would mean if you're like in a dirty, muddy, brown, dark brown area, that's gray rock territory. Yeah, that's how it is. No, really. I'm just staring at this, trying to visualize in my head how I want this rock to be. And it could be that I feel like the snow needs to be, go a little bit more surrounding it. Hey, Caden, have you heard of the app called Snap Tracker?
Like on the computer or on the phone?
Yeah, well, it's both actually. I haven't been able to get it working on my phone, but I've got it working on the computer, and you sync your. It's actually Marvel Snap, the same company makes it, and you can. It's a companion app for your thing, for your game. Whenever you run online, it'll start tracking your stats and stuff. So you can kind of start seeing how, and it'll do it by deck, so you can see how decks are doing, how much your average cube victories are, what your streaks and records are for each deck. It's actually pretty cool. I installed it. But the thing is, it only starts from the point.
Well, you installed it.
From the point you installed it, it starts keeping track of logs. I don't know why you can't read logs back, but maybe old logs aren't.
Yeah, there's no match history in the game, so.
Yeah, and so it's kind of cool. And plus, you could actually go back over a game. Recent games, you can go to a battle and click on it, and it'll let you replay the game, and you can kind of see what happened. Which would be good when you're, playing and you go, okay, how did that just happen? Something's wrong, and you want to go look at it and go, oh, that.
I had a guy yesterday, it was super funny. He's emoting the whole game.
I hate game.
Or he starts spamming emotes at the end of the game.
You know, you can mute people like that.
I know, and because he thinks he's gonna win because he got rid of Limbo with his which is the stone that changes the location, the red one. No, it's the red one.
Limbo.
No, the because he had Infinity Stones in his deck. What's the red one?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
He played it to change the location on Limbo, and he starts emoting, and he changes it to the Nexus, and so I get a bunch of power on all my locations and win.
Oh, because it shared the power across all the things.
He was going to end the game, and because he only had 1 power on the Nexus, I had like 14, so...
Yeah, so that's a risky way to change it. If you want to start messing with the areas, you got to have Rhino. Rhino's the best way to kill territories. Because Scarlet Witch and those things, they can backfire, because they can create the wrong kind of territory.
Yeah.
Like, I've had it go where somebody creates a territory, it says, and if you have more than 1 card here, kill them all. So it's like all his cards died, and I had like 1 card there. So it's like half of his things died. Yeah, but yeah, no, you got to check that app out. It's pretty cool.
What was it called again?
It's Snap Tracker.
Okay, I'll see if I can get it.
It has overlays on the game too, so you can like see your deck, and you can even see what's in the graveyard. Have you ever like had something die and you can't remember what it was?
Yeah. There's been apps for that, like for like or for Hearthstone and stuff.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know if it's right. It's just the top one on the phone.
That's it. Okay. That's the one. But I don't know if I couldn't get it to work on the phone because it wouldn't. I couldn't open up the. It asks you for the location of the your data file, and the Android file tool that it opens up doesn't let you see that. You can open it with other file tools, but there's no way to connect those to the location app. The app doesn't let you do it that way. So I couldn't get it working, but I got it working on the PC. Sorry, I got distracted off of Marvel Snap stuff. My son plays a lot too, so we kind of talk about it a lot. Anyway, so I guess I got to commit though, huh? You know what might be part of the problem is I'm saying I want to like have the snow be receding from him. Maybe it's because snow wouldn't recede from his evil heat. doesn't recede sparsely. I don't know. I don't know how to.
So do you know if the snap tracker works while you play on your phone? And so will it
Well, like I said, I've never got it working on the phone, so I don't know.
Well, but like, will it collect the data so you can see it on your computer? Or no?
Oh yeah, see, it's a website on the computer, so it's like it's linking and it uploads the data to a site. So I'm hoping the app does the same thing, which would synchronize the
So
data.
if you play on your phone, you don't have to have the app; it'll still work if you have it hooked up to your computer.
Well, maybe. I mean, you wouldn't be able to see on your phone, but in theory, I think you have to connect it on your phone in order for that data from your phone to be
uploaded. I can
uploaded.
install it on my computer and play a game on my phone and see if it works.
Yeah, but the thing is, if it doesn't sync, you don't connect. If you can't connect the data, the log data, to the app on the phone, it can't synchronize it. So you have to get that phone to connect. But yeah, I think it'll all overlap, but you got to get that one connected. I wrote them on Discord, but I haven't got a response yet.
So what did you say? So Reyes didn't call you?
So the problem is on this tool that we play on Marvel Snap. I was telling him about it. It's pretty cool. It's called Snap Tracker. Maybe I'll have to do a little video on it on my.
Oh, she's trying to find another.
The problem is on the phone you can't access the data folder that it tells you to. Hey, show us where this folder is, and you go into the Android folder and you go to Android, and it won't show you the data files, and therefore you can't select that folder and say, hey, it's in here. Nope, not allowed. And I'm like, why aren't I allowed? That's dumb. So I think I'm going to have these hands be all different colors, ain't I? I mean, if they're children from all over the world, so you're going to have some white hands and some black hands and some, I don't know, well, what are there, brown hands? Brown hands. So I could do some, I'll have to do all kinds of different colored hands, I suppose. Crusader skin. I don't know, that's kind of brown. I guess Crusaders have brown skin. And we got some nice little medium flesh and some light flesh. And we have, black is, I guess you can have a really black hand. There are black colored, sorry, not trying to be offensive, a colored skin that's really dark, super dark, but it's not as common as like some kind of mid-tone of brown of some kind, like dark flesh. It's like I have a dark flesh here, which is like a dark brown, which is more what it is. It's not usually black, right? So we'll use all 4 of these to get a variety. I got a lot of hands to paint. And we'll see what I can do. I got about 25 minutes left before I'm going to stop here. So this will be just a few hands in the dark skin. I don't know what to do that. Should do is put all the paint down. Once. Right, so I was looking to see if maybe some other third party had come out with the equivalent of the Snap Tracker, but there isn't none, or at least I haven't found one yet. I actually just found it by accident. I'm going, they have a stat tracker? Oh, I gotta try that, because I'm a stats guy. That kind of stuff is cool to me. It's kind of cool to know that when you're playing, it's like, okay, this deck's doing crappy. It's interesting to see though, like when you do, one of the things you kind of know is a deck doesn't necessarily have a winning record just because you're advancing with it. What that means is you're winning more cubes than you're losing. You could lose, let's say you lose 7 times in a row 1 cube, but then you win an 8 cube. well, you've won more cubes than you've lost, but you've lost 7 out of 8 games. So that's not a great ratio. But you want a deck that has a winning record if you can help it. And then those decks, you can kind of go, okay, that deck has a winning record over the course of 20 or 30 games. That means that means things generally go this deck's way more often than not. You can take some chances. Sometimes just the success of a deck is an indicator. Now, you want to go by, one of the things with that stat tracker is you can actually filter on most recently. Now, I just started using it, so I don't have a lot of data in there yet. But I'm hoping like over the course of, a month or 2 months, I'll start having some decent data to start start accumulating some idea of how my decks are doing. I'll have to play with all my decks again. I'll probably do a lot of them in Conquest. Now, problem is it has separate stats for decks. Conquest versus, battles, cute, whatever. Now this one here, I think, is a contrast paint. So contrast paints do not fare well. I'll tell you right now, if contrast paints do not fare well with a zenithal highlight, they are, they have to be lots of layers. Ah, son of a French fry. Cut off his finger. I don't know if I'm gonna fix that. Cut off his finger. Trying to fix it. His thumb. Hopefully nobody will ever notice. It's too small of a thumb, right? It's too small. Tell me it's too small. Tell me no one's going to notice that. Nope, dude, that's going to stand out like a sore thumb. Ha ha. Get it? Sore thumb. I know, nobody's around to laugh at me. Laugh with me. Laugh with me, sorry. Nobody would laugh at me, right? See, if they would have cleaned that stuff off themselves, they're probably like, I don't want to clean that off. I'll probably chop it off. Just like I did. And this is then they have to be responsible for having a defective mini. Probably need more hands than that. Can only have so many. Kind of have to keep this up with the contrast paints. You have to do a couple layers sometimes to get them to look right. Help us. You would think that these kids, the ones that are soaked up into his jacket, giving it its evil life, probably aren't salvageable, right? I mean, or are they just like a spirit trapped, and these are their formations of their non-spirit form, their corporeal form? I have to be more generous with these. Got too many hands. Too many hands and not enough. It's funny, all these hands look like they're not like reaching out. A lot of them look like they're like trying to cast a spell, shoot a web. Doing the whole Spider-Man. I'm shooting you with my... Wait a minute. I'm trapped inside a jacket. No, that's not going to work. It's not going to do me any good at all. Maybe if I can web up his... I don't know. Web up all of his friends. If he has friends. Wouldn't be in this predicament in the first place. Yep, I know. If anybody's been watching and going, dude, this guy has not streamed Marvel Snap in a long time. Didn't I just do it the other day? I don't know, but I'll do it. I'll be doing it more. But this painting is kind of has to take my front and center efforts lately, because I have got so much to do. This guy's tons of ways to go. The Santa's got tons of ways to go, and I've got very few. To me, it's not much time at all. Tomorrow is my Friday, though. I don't know if we're doing D&D tomorrow. I think the answer is no, but I could be wrong. So that would take up my evening. I have to get some deets on that. Get some confirmation from the group. Just gonna keep going around. Gonna get hands of every color in every space. He's an equal opportunity child napper. Child villain. He doesn't picky. He's not picky about which child it is, as long as they're, the bad thing is the whole premise of it is bad, because, as God will take a child, as children are innocent. They don't have, sinful. They're not really generally considered sinful. They may be misbehaving, but that doesn't necessarily make them sinful. But Krampus sees that as all one of the same. So, yeah, don't. If you're misbehaving, you're a perfectly good victim for Krampus. What does that mean, though? I mean, is that like your soul? Is your body? Is he just killing you and then your soul's okay? I'm thinking their soul's trapped inside of this jacket. Which is, of course, bad. So, I could do blue. Do we have any Djinns? I always think of blue skin as a Djinn skin. I don't know. It feels like a Djinn thing. Well, I mean, the Will Smith genie wasn't, but the Robin Williams genie was blue. Oh, this is some seriously pale skin. This would be like an albino. Albino. How many albino children are there? I'm not going to do too many hands with this color. This is unnaturally pale. I didn't realize how light that was. It says light skin, but I mean, this is like way light. Too light for me. Let's go back and use some more of this one. Oops, I'm gonna have to go over some of this with the gray again because I'm touching too much of the jacket. Stop it. Stop touching the jacket, Ken. Here, we'll give that pale hand a little bit of color. That's too much pale. Too pale for me. What do we got here? Now, if my son was able to get Snap Tracker working on his phone, I'm gonna be mad because I can't get it working on mine. All right, what am I missing? Oh, I got hands at the bottom of his jacket here. These are the ones I keep overlooking. Right now, I'm just taking my 4 colors of skin and kind of mixing them. Using some dark with some light and some light with some dark, and just changing the skin tones so they don't all have to be, so I can have them all be slightly different. I could probably have gone farther and added pink or something in there, but you know, give that more pinked flesh. Okay, which hands am I missing? Got a couple of them still not quite there. Now I'm just randomly mixing the paints. Alright, hands all done, hands all done. Nope, left hand's not done. Got a hand that's right here. Get that one done, and then we'll have to check the bottom of the coat again, make sure I didn't miss any. Okay, all the hands. Oh, wait, oh, there's a hand back here. Holy McMullions, man, there are a lot of... Just when you thought it was safe to say you were all colored up, you found another hand. I bet you there's more, too. I bet you I haven't found them all. Okay, we got all the hands on that side. There's only 4 hands there. Got all those. Well, I'll be darned. I think I got them all. The hands are now officially all painted. Okay. Hands are done. Now, for some reason, he's got this weird log going through his back. Doesn't that just look like a log? It just looks like wood log going through his back. I'm going to actually paint it like that. It's going to be a weird log going through his back. Don't know why, but it's there. What time is it? 6:50. So now I've got to do something with this. I want it. I got it. In my head, I'm thinking gray or brown or black even. Probably. All right, I'm going to look at the examples of what people did. I feel like I got to see it in my mind to... I'll just go to Etsy and look him up. Etsy. Because that's where I bought him. Krampus. This is the one. Yeah, see, they went with all dark colors. Actually, I kind of... See here, oops. Here we go. See, they went totally all dark colors. I don't like that. It's too much. But I do like that vest. See, that vest looks pretty good. Not the vest. That's kind of the color I'm thinking in my head. I don't know how to do that though. What is that? It's kind of like a tan. He's even got the white speck. It almost looks like my Wasteland Brown, except lighter. But Wasteland Brown is too brown. So I'll have to, I can try. I wonder if I could mix it with another contrast paint that's more, do I have a flesh-like contrast paint? So I can do my Wasteland Brown, which is, like I said, to me, the perfect breakdown paint. I mean, as far as leather goes, but that's an express color. Man, I really want the Vallejo ones. Yeah, I mean, they came out with some new colors. I think they're out. I think they released them. Newest Vallejo Express. I think it's just Express. They came out November. Yeah, these are Wave 2. The Express colors, intense. I wanna. Those are the ones I want, but gotta wait for money and be all done with the Christmas nonsense. Oh no, Christmas isn't nonsense. It's the shopping. The shopping is like, it's rough. Rough. I need a light pale flesh. Either Express color, which that's troll green. That's not gonna work. I have a couple of different greens. I don't think I have a brown Express color. Let's see, what's the closest thing? This isn't. Oh, I do, but this is probably too dark. Gorgon brown. I don't even know what color Gorgon brown is. That's just a dark brown, I think. Yeah. I need light brown. Could try to mix it, I guess, with a speed paint. That would lighten it up. Try to go to a tan color. You gotta stop knocking these paints down. I got too many things up here. All right, let's try this. Actually, I might just... It does kind of have... You know what? I'm gonna try this. Maybe I'll try this and then we'll do something else if it don't work. Now, express paints or speed paints aren't necessarily all that spectacular for large areas that have a lot of smooth space. So I'm a little concerned about that. This is going to take a lot of paint. See, this is, yeah, this is too reddish. I'll put it all on, and then we'll try something else on top of it. Nope. And I'm trying to get a nice even coat because I don't want it to. Now, it also has to be fairly generous. When you do speed paints, you got to be kind of generous so that it can seep and seep into the areas that it's needs to go. And who knows? Maybe it'll surprise me and look better when it's done. I don't think so. I doubt it. I'm leaning towards it won't. But that's a ton of paint, though. I'll tell you that. I'm going to go ahead and add something to this. I'm going to add a little bit of Bavarian flesh. That's a lighter color. Just one drop. Maybe two. That sounds. I know you can't understand me. It's Barbarian flesh plus whatever this thing is. I want it to lighten up a little bit. Be a little bit more on the tan, a little less on the red side. Still kind of not what I'm looking for. I was going for that. See, I can't visualize that color. It's not that color. The color that was on the picture. It's a tan, right? But every time I do it, I keep coming up with these colors. How do I see, or how do I? I want it to be more brown, I think, is the problem is. This is too tan. But I want it to be brown like brown. not brown like, I don't know, like whatever this is doing. This is brown like a tan color. And I guess I was shooting for tan, but it's not this tan. This is the wrong tan. So yeah, I don't know. And I'm going to do the trim on a lighter color once I get to it. But actually, I guess as it comes together, it's not looking too bad, I suppose. But there we go. It's not looking. I guess it doesn't look too terrible. Might even work because I do have a fairly light, thing going on with his pants. So this kind of goes along that route. I will have to maybe do a little bit of shading in here and then pull it back. I'm not kind of avoiding the edge because I'm going to do the rope or whatever later. Huh. It might work. It might work. It might be adequate, but we'll have to see. I'll have to do some lighter, like, take my white here a little bit. See what happens if I kind of trim out some of this edge. I need more white. Oh, I'm 7:01. I'm beyond my time. Should probably stop handling the parts that are. This is why I don't like holding it, because I never know when the back of my hand is touching something it shouldn't be. Okay, so I guess that doesn't look too bad. It's coming together. It actually might work. It's probably not quite the color I was looking for, but it might go with what I'm trying to do. I might have to lighten it up a little bit, give it a little bit more paling, but palinization. Still feel like it should be more brown, but it's not too far off of what I'm aiming for. Man, I keep touching the hands. There's too many hands on here. Too many hands spoil the soup, so we're gonna stop. Gotta let that dry. I've got to stop handling him. What I got to do is put him on his base and finish the base enough that I can put him on it, and then glue him on and start using the magnet so that I can stop having this guy. He's actually pretty solid. I'm hoping he'll, stuck. Yeah, this magnet's pretty strong though. It should be good. Should do the trick. So yep, that's session number 967. I don't know. Some amount. That's a lot. I've already done an hour with him. I did 15 minutes or so. I mean, I go back and forth between him and Santa, but each one of them needs to keep making progress. So I got to get them to the point where they're at least glued together and mostly colored. Until then, hopefully later today. If not, it'll be tomorrow, probably. Take it easy.